Okay, y'all. It's getting late. I'm heating up myself up some food, so I'm going to discuss right now the future plan for America that I know of from finding documents and films written by and produced by Joe Biden, aka Nick Quayle, aka Ancient Balak, King of Ammon and Moab, the demoniac reincarnate. He foresees and intends on having a men in black eternity in America. And I mean like completely degenerate humans that look like the creepiest, ugliest creatures being the new norm in America. He's basically fully committed to an ugly America. Seriously? Yep. I swear to God. And basically, because of what? All the incubus. You may not realize it, but in all the films, hideous extraterrestrials used to look like us that are product of perpetual incubus among the peoples and generation. They just turn into the most ugly creatures. What? Ill will toward sex goddesses. Incubus. Pernomy. Having sex without due benevolence makes the races degenerate, okay? It makes all the races degenerate. America has been committed to this from Jump Street, and it is basically in his writings because he is a basic demoniac, anti-Semitic, ancient ruler, and also as well a ruler. And believe it or not, nearly every ancient prince of Ammon and Moab that's a demoniac continues to rule as a Mason in our country. Why? Because they continue to pick a name, and when they die, they just come back and it's almost like stepping into work and just punching in a card. It ain't nothing to them. From Clinton to McConnell, they all just continue to come back. They just cycle themselves back and forth. They're demoniacs, as the scripture describes in the Bhagavad Gita, as Sri Krishna describes them. Okay? America is committed to an ugly men in black, to the most hideous, ugly form of extraterrestrial appearance. So basically, the look you see on me and us as we humans is going away. Okay, Esau is well committed to this. All right, there are other peoples here, like from Pegasus, but of course, people from Pegasus. I'm just letting you know, they're committed to an ugly, hideous future. The Ferengi, which are supposed to be the most beautiful women in dances of foreplay with the males, merengue, Ferengi, are the insult. It's actually the future they foresee that all females will look like that, at best. And they'll continue. You're just going to continue to have more uglier and uglier people. Okay. I frankly saw black girls in Vegas that had been so dogged out they look like men in black extraterrestrials. You see it around here too. The men are so malevolent. We're already starting to degenerate. We're starting to look like hideous extraterrestrials. This is America's future. Did you know that they go to Europe? They literally go back looking for pretty people like restocking trout because the males basically live to just hunt the women and dog them out and feast on them and incubus. And so then the race just continues to degenerate. It's called the iniquity of Peor. It's what Sanjaya started in the Tibetan Book of the Dead. Read the Book of the Dead and the creepy accounts of what they have the women doing. Okay, they turn women that look like Scarlett and Johansson and are most beautiful into someone who's bald-headed. That the Buddha actually is the end result of incubus of an extremely well-built hourglass figure. Yeah, that's what the Buddha is. It's absolute incubus, okay? I'm just letting you know. And then they talk about drinking brains and all this creepy stuff. It's the stuff that they nurtured a woman to do to each other. Yes, there's a Book of the Dead. The Masons basically are the Book of the Dead. Okay, IDK Chen in Philly, the Book of the Dead. The Bloody Murderous Trust in Philly, Rizzo, all of that, the Book of the Dead. Okay, yes, the Klan, it's the Book of the Dead. Collinger's Book of the Dead. Okay, all they're into death. You know what Instagram mean? It means a death porn cum shot. Facebook, it's a death porn facial. Okay, you didn't know that? I'll put it this way: you dig deep enough into those websites, you'll start finding out things you don't want to know. Okay, their origin is in death porn cum shots, and also another problem with these sites is that what? Their willingness to have control over your speech that they shouldn't have. When you think about MySpace, when it first came out, it was high energy. Nicki Minaj came out of it. All the dynamics of today's popular culture came out of MySpace. When Facebook and Instagram came along, everything was about toning down your speech. They want to insist that you only talk in sweet terms. The problem is that's not reality. What is it? The end result? They make you geeky spook fuck about any kind of emotion. You're no longer human emotion. You're like a sedated little cunt. This is what Instagram and Facebook are doing with their so-called was about hate speech. Worse yet, their hate speech standards have nothing to do with the law and everything to do with clan-based and redneck-based and right-wing extremist-based control over blacks and whites to make you like a good submissive house of filth nigger masquerading as some kind of political correctness that doesn't exist. They presume rights on a website. If you have a page, you speak. But then they want to tell you can't do this. But worse yet, it's no law. And I've continued to see a persistent pattern on all these websites of far-right bullshit where they literally will ban a post that condemns hate speech and call it hate speech. YouTube does it. Instagram does it. Facebook does it. And worse yet, they insist that literally, if you're not a social phony and you're not going to want to pretend life's perfect and be bourgeois, you're a problem on the internet. Literally, they make you an outcast because you won't act like a bougie fraud, and you literally live in a house as a black in a racist society where your complaints get you banned. It's like you literally being forced to be something worse than a submissive house of filth, and they're going on the internet. And once again, these are standards of speech that your government sees and or Democrats you won't condemn. So you're telling us you're phony. Okay, it's not my obligation to be perfect like I'm inside the religion. Like, they act like you have to talk like you're in church. That's not my job to do that. But this is the standards that YouTube, Instagram, Facebook have. And that's why I say they're not producing anything. MySpace, people were outspoken, and literally we are living off of the popular culture produced on MySpace. Because Facebook, everything's about toning everything down, and you can't say this, and you want to live in a make-pretend world where everything's perfect, and you don't complain, so no one's allowed to complain, no one's allowed to say anything. It's dead. Facebook and Instagram are killing popular culture because everything's about tone it down. You can't say this, you can't say this, so nobody wants to say anything offensive. It's like, it's dead. And people that are about something don't go on the internet because they want to tell you what to say. And once again, it's still Esau ultimately decompensating for his lack of self-control by wanting to control Jacob, the white male, and then everyone else. It's literally redneck nonsense. And I've touched and played games and pressed the buttons of the internet, and I continue to see the same pattern that it's right-wing extremism masquerading as social media. It's right-wing extremism, worse yet, in the deep guts of Facebook and Instagram, the words mean death, porn, cum shots of Aphrodites. Okay? You don't have the access. When you go deep into those sites, it's death, porn, cum shots. Facebook, Instagram means going postal on a woman when you have to have an orgasm. Facebook means cum shots, death porn. Their names are death and evil. Okay? The sites are not what you think they are. They're all death porn. Okay, so you're literally being nurtured and basically being programmed to be a death one cum shot as an Aphrodite on Facebook and Instagram. So you have to be real docile. So all of the dynamic rage and the reality of MySpace has been reduced and replaced by the far right bullshit toning down of Facebook and Instagram. So now you're just little submissive artificial as well. And if you act human and someone is going to make an impact, you're banned. So guess what? Facebook and Instagram are ruining pop society. So we're phony bougie. It makes everything, we're fraud, phony bougie. So if you're not a bourgeois, completely arrogant, aloof person that has no problems, you don't fit on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube because you have a complaint. You're not allowed to complain. So it's about a perfect society where you just pretend everything's so perfect. Haughty-taughty fraudage. And this is exactly what Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube are doing. You're producing a society of phonies, okay? Where everyone, if you're not haughty-taughty and have no problems, if you're not like the Bible describes, like Babylon, I sit as a queen and don't need nothing, then you're banned. This is what we're seeing, okay? And like I said, that's why you're not producing anything. It's just phony baloney. And people that are real can't stand it, okay? It's super social, pretentious, bougie bullshit. And this is what we see now, okay? That you don't, and that's why we're not producing nothing. We are literally living off of the MySpace ferocity because everything on Instagram, Facebook now is so damn toned down. When you think about it, that's why you're not producing. Nobody has any passion, no fire. There is no hair on fire. Hair on fire gets you banned on Instagram and Facebook. It's like you got to be a toned down house of field nigger. You can't offend nobody. But who you trying to impress? A redneck, okay? A far right extremist that wants to stake to you on your page. You can't express them. So basically, it's something worse than being completely repressed. They practice repressed, pretentious phonies. Okay? I'm just letting you know. Repressed and pretentious, non-human pretense. Okay? It's pretentious, bougie, phoniness that you live in a perfect world or your hate speech. This is what we see.